Hello. Welcome to Discussing Fitchburg Now at Fitchburg Access Television in the Workers Credit Union Studios. I'm your host, Sam Squalia. Thanks for tuning in. This week's show, we have got Main Street Studios from the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance right on Main Street. We're going to be learning about the new venture there at Main Street Studios. And then we have Pastor Johnny Aleman from the Highland Baptist Church coming to tell us about everything that's going on at the Highland Baptist Church and the community events that they put on. And then we also have Michael Graderati from Naturals Collective, a new art gallery that just opened over the Fitchburg line right in Leominster. All right, so make sure to stay tuned after every segment. Up now, I have the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance members and the Main Street Studios team. Right, guys?
Yes.
How about you go around and introduce yourself, starting with you, Joe.
Sure. I'm Joe Bowen. Hello, everybody. I'm the president of the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance.
I'm Jessie Olson. I am the executive director of the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance.
Yeah, and I'm Tiana Burnett, and I am the new manager of Main Street Studios.
Fantastic. Thanks all for coming on. So we just had the ribbon cutting event for the Main Street Studios, which, what's the address of Main Street Studios again?
It is 675 Main Street.
675 Main Street, and that's right at the old Fidelity Bank Building that everyone would recognize, the Fidelity Bank Building that was on Main Street, now owned by Fitchburg State University.
Yes, so we were part of the theater block that's going to be part of that whole development of retail space and the Black Box Theater and the theater. So it's very exciting. Yes,
and it helps to add to that Fitchburg cultural downtown vibrancy, and coupling that with the Fitchburg's art community at the old BF Brown.
Yes.
I mean the Fitchburg Art Museum and Boulder Art Gallery and the Fitchburg State Theater. We're seeing a lot of action.
Yes,
Yeah.
and on top of all the arts, we also have all these culinary arts that are going to be there too. So we're going to have Dario's is going to open across the street from us on one side, and our caterer from the ribbon cutting, Finicky Fork, will be opening the Popper's Pantry on our other side. So you can come enjoy some art and have a great meal and a cocktail too.
That sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
I can't wait to sit outside on Main Street. At Dario's. Oh, it's going to be so great. And so the opportunity for our artists at Main Street Studios, in addition, they'll be able to rent studio space from Fitchburg Cultural Alliance and have kind of a little arts community of their own right within the building space, right?
Yes. So,
so there are open applications right now for artists to have monthly residencies within that studio space, but that'll also give way to some kind of co-working spaces and opportunities, and then also some art shows and pop-ups and some pretty cool things that I imagine are in the future of this space.
Yes.
So it'll be definitely a cool ecosystem for the creatives to come in and to really take off and be themselves under in a new safe space to work.
Yeah, our creative artist community are the people that create the events. They're the people that start new businesses and start pop-up things and make spaces vibrant and create kind of spaces that people want to be in, right?
Yes, and what's nice is being in the old bank building, we also have a meeting space and these open spaces where the pop-ups can be and where we can have events, we can have some musical performances, but also we'll host workshops and classes, but it's just a great gathering space for creatives to come and talk and meet each other and see art and share their process.
Yeah.
One of the things we have coming up is at the end of September, we're participating in the Fitchburg Open Studios, which is put on by the Fitchburg Cultural Council. And we are opening up the Main Street Studios for that event as well. We'll host up to 4 different artists to present their studios.
Up to 4?
Up to 4, and we have a common space.
Oh, yeah.
We may or may not be fully rented at that point, so I don't know if the individual studios will be available for the artists to present their works. But we will use our open lobby areas and allow artists to come in and set up shop, so to speak.
So in the main lobby, you're going to have space for up to 4 artists that maybe their home isn't accessible to other people, so they can bring their art to participate in the Fitchburg Open Studios event.
Yes, correct.
And it's just right on Main Street in downtown, so because there's other locations downtown, so There's, I think Rollstone Church is still a location, and Boulder Gallery will obviously be open.
The Fay Club was in the past?
Yeah. I think they're a location this year, but.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But what's nice is that you can do a walking tour. You don't have to get in your car and drive to different locations. That there are several studios that will be open and artists who will be selling their work and maybe demonstrating their work.
And that's in October?
It's the last weekend of September.
Last weekend
I believe
of
that's the
September.
24th and the 25th.
We should do a TV show on the Fitchburg Open Studios next, so we can talk about that.
Absolutely, we should.
So the Fitchburg Open Studios, I think that's fitchburgopenstudios.com. Is that?
If it's not com, it's org.
But
Yeah.
you can find that on Fitchburg Open Studios on
Yes.
Facebook.
Absolutely.
And then you can see more information there. And you'll be able to go visit the Main Street Studios at 675 Main Street,
Yes.
right on Main Street in Fitchburg, and you'll be able to check it out too. And you might have more artists that are taking studio space. Now, how many studios are there available for the artists?
Are there 7 or 8?
Well, there's 6 right now,
Okay.
and there is potential for a 7th one. But what is nice is that the spaces are pretty big, so we are. If artists want to share a studio because they want to split the cost, or they know they're only going to be there 3 nights a week and they have a fellow artist that will be there the other 3 nights, we will make that possible.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Yeah, because, also, I feel like, working together, that's kind of one of the real great benefits of having a studio at the Fitchburg, at the Main Street Studios, the opportunity to not work alone.
Right.
You know, like we've been alone for years now, and we're getting back out, and we want to be with people. And having that opportunity with the Main Street Studios, you could be in your studio and close the door, but you can open it up and talk to
In a sense,
people.
we're building a Fitchburg arts community
Within
on
a
a much
community.
smaller scale as compared to what they're doing with BF Brown.
Right.
So it's like the starter kit.
Yeah, pretty much, yes,
Right.
yes.
Just you can't live there.
You just can't live
No,
there.
no. But it helps to set the stage for what hopefully will be open in 2 years and be a nice complement as more artists move into our city. So.
And
yeah.
so, Joe, and you have, so all 3 of you have new roles, right? Joe, you are the new president of the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, and Jessie, you are the new executive director, and Tiana, obviously, the new studio manager.
Yeah.
Maybe, Jessie, can you talk a little bit about your role as the executive director, what you see forthcoming with the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance and the Main Street Studios?
Well, so both of our positions are brand new. The Alliance has been a volunteer organization up to this point, but we understood that taking on the responsibility of a building required having some paid staff and bringing in some good skills. And Tiana comes to us with a background of managing similar artist spaces in Springfield, so we're very lucky to have that. But for myself, as the executive director, it is kind of overseeing the structure of the Alliance, continuing to do fundraising, so the studios will, because we have some very wonderful supporters through MassDevelopment and the city of Fitchburg and the university have been supporting us, but we want to be able to continue. So we're not going to just be here for the first 2 years, but we will continue, and the studios will grow. And so my job is to fundraise, to find grants, but also to build our membership, because the other part of having the studios is there will be artists who live in residence, but our members can have access to the conference room. We invite them to have a pop-up, to do a performance, and the membership is to be inclusive in this arts community. So it's building the membership, it's building the public awareness, and building the sustainability, all the fun stuff.
And so now, as a member of the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, you have access to Main Street Studios in addition to, the other benefits. There's the arts guide.
Yes,
and
which just came out. Our brand,
the new one?
Yeah, the brand new one. Yep. And yeah, so we focused a lot on promotion for members, but now definitely the big benefit is to be able to come to use Main Street Studios. But my previous role was membership at the Fitchburg Art Museum, so hoping to take some of those
skills,
yes, and make a more a broader membership package for the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance. So, yes.
So I'd like to add, because I'd be remiss not to mention this, but the Main Street Studios project it was budding out of a a group called the Fitchburg Arts Collective.
Yes.
Which
Oh, yes.
were a group of art stewards from the New View communities. And they had won several grants to try to launch this project, and the Cultural Alliance partnered with them to bring it to fruition. And it's no small accomplishment that we actually are able to, as a Cultural Alliance, after 44 years of existence, we have paid staff now.
Yeah.
It's really fantastic that we've been able to build from this one project to get to that level.
There's only so much you can do with volunteer capacity.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You
Yes.
tap out pretty quickly.
Yes.
And then if you try to push it, you burn out pretty quickly. So it's nice to be able to have, your full attention.
Yes, and it just also and I've even noticed it just opens up doors that we in conversations, and we can be more of a resource to our community. But I think having staff that are available more regularly makes it easier for us to have conversations to help the studios and the Alliance as a whole.
So, and Tiana, what do you foresee with the future of the artist studios? And what's your experience managing studios in Springfield?
Yeah, so my studios actually came from me doing a line of pop-ups myself starting in 2018. I started doing them in museums and galleries until I eventually acquired my own studio space with my partner in Springfield. And that first one was kind of the same model of this one, but we had an 8,000 square foot production studio. So it was still home to a bunch of artists. We had 8 small businesses growing and incubating within our studio space at the start of the pandemic. So we got the keys to there a month before the pandemic hit.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we took that business model and ran it through a couple different accelerators. We just finished up our 3rd one, I believe, since the start of the pandemic. So really just trying to expand my business awareness to this type of model, but also to ensure that we're still creating and providing safe spaces that are sustainable for artists. And honestly, it's been very interesting. It's been a very interesting road trying to do this without like a full board, or funding beforehand. So coming into a team that has been working on this model, ours came out of necessity. We were given a space and told to make it work. So this going into it with that predetermined mission is really cool, and I'm really excited to apply what I've learned in real time and do it again in my hometown, which I think is important.
Sounds like you're going to also be able to provide a lot of business and technical assistance to the artists.
For sure, yeah. So I'm also a mentor for different entrepreneurial programs right now. E for All in Holyoke.
E for All.
Entrepreneurship for All. So I really do love helping businesses or helping artists turn their craft into a business and get paid accordingly. So yeah, a lot of the systems and structures behind how to monetize their creativity is something that I really do enjoy doing and hope to do a lot of in this space. So it's not just a studio where artists can come in and they're kind of left to their own devices, but give them that structure and support that they need to really, make more of an impact and use more of their time and creativity to their benefit.
I like where this is going, Jessie.
Well, one of the impetuses of this too is not just to establish the community, but to help the creative economy, and that art drives economy. So people will have jobs, but also they come to, and like we were saying before, they come to see the artists, and then they go have a meal. So it is the ecosystem. Everything feeds each other. So.
Oh yeah, people go to see a play. People come from all around, inside and outside of the area, to come see a play or a performance or a gallery opening, and then they go get drinks. They go get food. They go stop, at a store or whatever it is. They get gas. All of these things, the impetus of artists really is such a driver.
Yes. Well, and what's also, in addition to the skills that Tiana brings and the mentorship that she can offer, but we also have fundamental tools, like if you just need to print things or you need a meeting space, if you have a client or a vendor you need to meet with, we provide a professional meeting space. So it's just, if you're somebody working out of your kitchen, this gives you a space to help your business become a little more professional.
Is there a kitchen? Was there an old break room there?
We don't have a kitchen, but like I said,
That would be cool.
Well,
like a little like a residential kitchen or a commercial.
Well,
that would be cool.
There's somebody else developing that, so we'll leave that to them.
Oh yeah, the urban fork.
Yeah. But that's how everybody kind of works together. That there are different types of arts that we can all work toward developing this creative economy.
Mm-hmm. And so, we're right on Main Street. We have artist studios. Is this the type of facility where it could be open during the day or evening for retail sales?
Yes, that's exactly what we hope to do.
Yep, exactly. Our lobby will be open. We'll have an active gallery showcasing the works of the artists that are renting there, but also any others that are in our membership. We have room, and we'll definitely give them an opportunity to sell their works there through the studios. We haven't set the hours yet because we need to fill the space first.
Yeah.
And get our ecosystem working correctly, and then we can work on the retail side. But it should happen quickly.
So there are still spots available for artists to get a studio. And how do we find out about that?
If you go to our website, fitchburgculturalalliance.org, there is a tab that says Main Street Studios, and there is an application inquiry form, and fill that out, and that should be live for about another week, and then we will be looking at the applications and hope to start contacting people about renting a space.
And what qualifies someone to be an artist? What qualifies someone to have a studio space?
Our only qualification is that you are actively creating at this time. We're not going to judge you as to, because art is subjective, but you can be a painter, you can be a photographer. I mean, we do have limitations with our space. We don't have a kiln. We
can't be a welder.
We don't allow welding, but it can be mixed media, it can be three-dimensional art, it can be a writer, it could be a musician who wants a place to rehearse their music. So we're not gonna make everybody fit a box of what art is.
Very cool. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's see. I think that's all my questions. Are there any other things that we should talk about, Tiana?
Oh no, I mean I don't know.
Were we able to get the floor plan available to put on screen?
I did not get the floor plan available to put on screen.
That's okay.
But people will be able to go in and
absolutely.
see it in
I did see
person.
some pictures were floating around.
Yeah.
Behind me, but I didn't see.
Oh yeah, we've got a couple pictures. Can we throw up a couple pictures in the big screen, Jared? Oh, that looks like a studio. Oh, that's a projector.
That was from our opening. That was that was a film produced by the Women's Caucus for Art that we were just showing through.
Cool. What else we got? Oh, here's one of the studios.
And that's Ellen DiGeronimo, who is quite a force, not only in the city, but definitely with the Cultural Alliance.
Still is.
Yes.
Yeah.
She sure is.
Oh, and there's Jennifer Jones with the piano and Mike Baltier.
And she was performing the night of the ribbon cutting, and she will actually be one of the artists for Open Studios too.
Oh, she's gonna take a studio?
She'll probably be in the same spot that she was at the ribbon cutting, but yeah.
That would be perfect. Mm-hmm. And okay, very cool. All right, so Main Street Studios is run by the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance. You can go to fitchburgculturalalliance.org and find out more information. You can apply to be an artist. You can support the organization with the donations. You can become a member of the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance and then have access to the studio. And be sure to follow them on Facebook and on their website, because the upcoming events that are going to be happening in the next year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years are likely to be plentiful.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. September is just the start. So, yeah.
All right. Fantastic. Well, anything else we want to add before we close?
I think you covered quite a bit.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all for coming on, and thank
Thanks
you
for
for all the good work that you are doing and going to do in downtown Fitchburg. Thank you very much. And thank you for watching. We're going to take a short break, and then we're going to talk with Pastor Johnny Aleman from the Highland Baptist Church.
Oh, you're going to use a fork? I was just going to pick it up and eat it.
Well,
Yeah,
some of us are more classy than others, Alex.
Well, you know.
A lot of hope to see that, the next generation, before they even leave high school, that they're so invested in the community.
And a special thank you to FATV, who made this broadcast possible. Hello, I'm Scott May, and this is North Central Journal. Our topic for discussion this month is a nonprofit organization. It's called Dress a Girl Around the World.
Dress a Girl Around the World's mission is quite simple. It's the idea that every young girl deserves to get a brand new dress at least once in her life. And this dress is to provide her with dignity, it's to provide her with respect, to show her that there's somebody in this world that is looking out for her and cares for her. So the mission is quite simple. Getting the girls the dresses, that's another thing altogether.
It's hard to articulate without feeling very emotional about this, but helping girls, women around the world is so gratifying. We all grew up as, the three of us, we grew up as women. We know what it's like to have difficult times, but we have nothing compared to what these children grow into as young adults.
For the whole organization, it's been well over 2 million dresses.
Wow.
Locally, we've done probably now close to 7,000, 7,200 dresses in the last couple of years. We made a goal of 2020 to make 2,020 dresses, and we exceeded that goal.
All right, thank you for coming back, watching us. We're discussing Fitchburg Now on FATV, and I am here with Pastor Johnny Aleman from the Highland Baptist Church on Pacific Street?
Cedar Street.
Cedar Street.
Right on the other side.
Right, near Pacific
Yes.
Street. Right, 19 Cedar Street?
19 Cedar Street, yeah.
19 Cedar Street in Fitchburg. And I know Highland Baptist Church from a lot of the community outreach and food pantry events that you put on.
Yeah.
And I wanted to have you come on and tell us all about, what you do at the Highland Baptist Church.
Yeah, sure. So I've been at Highland since 2018, but I've been acting as the lead pastor since about 2020, basically when COVID happened. So, but yeah, one of the big things that we've been doing for almost 30 years now is the food pantry. It's probably our biggest community, outreach that we do, and so it happens twice a month. So second and fourth Saturday of every month, except for November and December. It's first and third because of the holidays.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, so recently we've been able to finally transition and get everybody to come back inside, which was a big thing because during COVID we had to have everyone drive through, you know, for safety reasons. But now everyone is coming back inside, which is great because we get to connect more with people. We can talk with them. We can figure out, you know, other ways that we can help besides just food. But yeah, so we serve anywhere between 90 to 120 families every time we have a food pantry.
So twice a month, 90 to 120, so
yeah.
180 to 240 families a month.
A month, yeah.
Wow.
With food. And so, and not just with food, we've also recently started a diaper distribution ministry about 8 months ago. My wife, she wanted to help some of the mothers in Fitchburg, so for Mother's Day, she was like, hey, any mothers need help with diapers and wipes? And so we got...
And it was like, yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, it just like, it blew up. And so she was like, you know, why don't we do something to help more consistently? So right now we consistently help about 18 families every month with diapers and wipes. And so what we're looking to do is expand that. So we're going to start trying to get more donations from companies, individuals, anybody who wants to help out. Because there's so many people who come to us who need help, and we can't help everybody, so we'd like to expand that. So that's something that's in the works, and it's new, but it's
it's really nice to be able to help in that way as well. And then also baby formula is something that we've also done now too.
And I know that, recently Pastor Johnny reached out to me and said, hey, Sam, there's a formula shortage.
Yep.
We have some formula. Could you help get out the word? I shared that post, and it was like 200 people shared that post, and
I think I remember.
It was a big need.
Yeah, it was. And what's interesting about that is we got that formula almost a year before the shortage happened.
Wow. So how long does it last? Like a year or 2 years?
Usually a year, 2 years, yeah. It has a longer shelf life. But what happened was, so we typically get all of our food at the Worcester County Food Bank in Shrewsbury. So we were down there, and so we just happened to ask the guy, hey, do you guys, we know you regularly have baby formula, do you have any that we can grab? And he said, we actually have a ton of formula that was left over from like a diaper formula drive, and they were just going to chuck it. They were going to throw it away because it was literally just like, it was an entire pallet. Too much.
It was too much for them.
Yeah, too much. They really need the space for inventory. So we were like, well, why don't you, they had to make a special delivery to the church because it was an entire pallet of formula.
Wow.
So they dropped it off to us, we took it, and we sat on it for a while because we were like, well, we've never done formula before, so let's kind of figure out how to incorporate this.
How to get the need, how to let people know that we have this available
but not
if
get
they need
super
it.
overwhelmed, you know what I mean? And so finally, just, this formula shortage happened, and then that's when I reached out to you and I kind of told our elders at the church, I think it's time for us to get off of this stuff. People really need it. And like you said, my phone was blowing up for 2 weeks straight. So now we're going to continue to incorporate that within our food pantry. But yeah, God just provided.
Have formula available.
Have formula available for families.
As you have the donations available and the resources.
Exactly, yeah. So, we get a lot of our stuff from the Worcester County Food Bank, but we do take, as long as it's still good, it's not been opened, we will take private donations as well. And we give them out to families in need. So that's something that we thought was really important to add in addition to what we were already doing.
Yeah, and I saw your distribution of the food pantry, and it's a huge operation. You have a lot of volunteers.
It takes a lot of people to run it because we, on Fridays we have to go down with a truck. We have to pick up anywhere between 3,000 to 6,000 pounds of food. For each distribution, come back, organize it, get the truck unpacked. We also pick up food from, what is the grocery store there? I'm losing my...
Hannaford?
Hannaford, thank you. Yes, we pick up from 2 Hannafords, Townsend and Lunenburg, on Saturday morning. And so, then we have people who just organize it, distribute it. We bring food out right to people's cars. So it takes a good group of people to keep it going.
Yeah, and it's not just like off-brand. You don't just get like off-brand cans of vegetables and I don't know, mac and cheese. There's like pastries and nice bread, and there's vegetables, there's meat, frozen fish and meat, and I mean, good food.
Yeah, it's high quality stuff. Yeah, we have plenty of meat. I mean, chicken, steak, ham. I mean, it's really good stuff. Stuff that the grocery stores get it off of their shelves because the grocery stores, they have to sell it.
It's coming to the end of its life.
It's coming to the end, but you put it in a freezer, it's good for a long while. So it's really, really good stuff. Fresh produce, fresh bread. We get desserts all the time, kids snacks. So there's our people who come really get a good haul that will help them.
How do you cultivate the volunteer community within your church? Because it takes such a good amount of good-hearted volunteers to make these things really happen.
Yeah, so luckily they were already doing this before I got there. So I really can't take too much credit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Our people really just have a heart to help with that. I guess there's really no magic formula. Our church is really compassionate. They like to help their community. So the people who have been doing it, they've been doing it for many years. And so we just try to continue to cultivate that. We encourage people to come out. I think once you come out and you kind of see what happens, you want to be
how happy everyone, the joy.
So if you just come out and experience that, you'll want to be a part of it, So like we have people who you can volunteer even if you're not part of the church. You know, anybody can volunteer to help and to serve their community. We think that's important just to instill in general in Fitchburg.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Jared, can we throw on the big screen a picture of the church? I see it behind me here. So everyone knows where we're talking about. This is that big white church that's right on Cedar Street, right near Congress Street.
Yeah, you go up Congress, there's no way you can miss it. It's a big parking lot, you'll see the big steeple and all that, so
yeah.
There's no way you can miss it if you're
so this is the church that we're talking about, Highland Baptist. And so we talked about the food pantry efforts. I know that you recently had a big community barbecue that the whole community was invited to.
Yeah.
What are some what are some of the things that you put on for the community besides just the
so that
pantry?
Barbecue was something we did. We hadn't done something like that in a long time, so we're looking forward to doing that every year just to stay connected with our community and have people come out, have a good time with their families. But the other things that we're trying to incorporate more is we have a full-size gym that anyone
like
comes
a basketball
to.
Court gym?
That's where our food pantry happens inside of our gym. So it's got 2 hoops. So I've been in connection with some people to use that more to get kids off the street to come in, and we're set up for basketball, volleyball. You could do indoor hockey, soccer. So what we're trying to do is be able to have it cleared out and have volunteers so we can have more kids from our community come in and use the space, especially in the wintertime, right? When kids are cooped up at home.
Oh, definitely.
If they're not really playing sports in school, they need an outlet. And I think parents could use more help, right? If they're working a few extra hours.
Yeah, a couple hours of basketball camp.
Exactly.
Could give me a little break.
Yeah, give them a break. Maybe they can pick up a little overtime at home. So we feel like we want to be able to try to start offering that as towards the winter time.
That's fantastic, because I have heard numerous times in my years of being involved in the community of a need for an indoor basketball court. We have the schools available, but it's like $200 a time because you got to pay the staff to open and to clean and all of that. And
there's a little bit more red tape.
There is a little more red tape when you're involved in the schools, but maybe with this additional community resource, it could be really valuable.
Yeah. There's some people who've asked me if we'd be open to it, because where we particularly are, they already know students who would take advantage of it.
And you're very walkable.
Exactly. That's the big thing. It's a good walkable distance. There's plenty of parking, so parents could just pull up, drop their kids off if they wanted to, or, so it's in the works. We're hoping to do that. Before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And
you're also a Baptist church.
Yes.
So we have a good picture of the interior. It's really Can you put this on the big screen? This is a really nice picture where you can see what the interior of the church looks like.
And to actually
is that a big organ in the back?
So that is the basically the original structure of the organ. The actual organ player is not there anymore, so it's just the pipes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there used to be a big organ there back in the day, right up there. So, but this picture here is actually from our Good Friday service, this past Good Friday.
Good Friday. Oh, so it was packed.
It was packed, and we actually did this with 6 other area churches. So all of the pastors and churches came together.
Oh, like a church collaboration?
We call ourselves Churches Unite. You know what I mean?
Unite.
So we've started that probably within the last 6 months, and it's just pastors and churches working together, getting together to worship, to serve our community. And so hey, let's do a Good Friday service together. So
now, are these different denominations that come together?
Yeah, all different denominations.
And do you visit like all your different churches?
So we go around, and so we'll do stuff at each other's buildings, and so like right now we're rotating. We do a once a month prayer gathering. So we're at Horizon Christian Fellowship.
That one's on Broad Street?
That's on Broad Street, yep. We're at Highland on 9/11. Then we're going to be in Lunenburg at Pastor Dale Prew's church. Yeah. And then Pastor Chuck, he's the pastor of the Nazarene Church.
On South Street?
Yep. So we'll be at his church in December. So it's cool. We're getting pastors and churches working together.
That's fantastic. Yeah. And how can we find out more about that information? That's on your Facebook page, right?
We have a Facebook page, Churches Unite. Yeah.
Is it a Churches Unite Facebook page?
It is, yeah.
And then the individual churches would share it
Individual churches will
from
share
their page.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so Churches Unite.
Yeah. Yep, people can look at that up, and all of our events are there. The person who runs that is a lot better at posting pictures than I am on our Facebook page. But yeah, so anybody who wants, they just go on there and they can see what we're up to.
Oh, that's a great way to see all the different churches. I'm going to have to come.
Yeah,
because I have never been inside your church.
Yeah. Well,
I've never been inside a lot of churches in Fitchburg. Fitchburg is very big.
Yeah, it is, and there's a lot of churches. Highland has been here for a long time. This particular, so this is partly the original sanctuary, but they've been here for 131 years.
It's partly the original sanctuary?
Yeah.
There was an addition?
Yeah, what they did back in the day is, I don't know when this happened, but it was growing, and so instead of buying a new building, what they did was they cut the sanctuary right down the middle, pulled it apart, and then built the middle section.
Cool.
Yeah.
So this was taken
yeah,
and made
so
bigger?
basically like the original structure is like on the left and right sides. The middle came later.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
I don't know how they did it, but yeah.
Oh, that's fascinating.
So it's got some long history there, being
I bet a lot of people watching know exactly what you're talking about.
I run into people all the time that say, oh yeah, I was there at the church 30 years ago. Here was the pastor. Oh yeah, I got baptized there when I was a kid. Oh yeah, I remember, you know what I mean? So there's so much history around it because it's been here since 1891.
1891?
That's when it was incorporated.
That's a lot of years.
Yeah.
Very
Matter of fact, they're called Highland Baptist Church because Cedar Street didn't exist.
When
it was
Highland.
Incorporated, it was just Highland, which is
right on the other side.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah. That's how you know. That's how old it is.
Yeah. Before Cedar Street was even there.
Yep. Before Cedar Street existed.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So, but yeah. So we've got that going on, and we're really just we're really open to being more involved in the community as people, different community leaders, bring ideas in. We're open to helping. Like for example, the veterans of Fitchburg. We've been connected with them and.
The Fitchburg Veterans Department?
The Fitchburg Veterans, yep. And because I know they're looking
for... Oh, I know you spoke at our White Cross ceremony this year.
Yeah. So I've been connecting with them, and we wanted to help them find a space. And so, even if it's just using our building more as a community center, that's what we're trying to do. We want to bless our community with our space.
And, the great thing about your church environment is, you're welcomed in a friendly environment.
Absolutely,
and you have friends built in that you can make.
We like anybody who comes in, you're just part of the family. You know what I mean? You're part of the family, you're welcomed, you're loved as you are, and you're accepted, and if you need help, you need support, we have a community of people who are really good at doing that.
And speaking of support, you are now a fiscal sponsor for an organization to help children.
Yeah, so it's brand new for us. We've never done it before, but shout out to Francisco Ramos from Newview for.
He's the best.
Yeah, he is.
Love him.
And without him, it wouldn't have happened because he's such a good resource. He opened up the opportunity. He guided us through the process of what it means to be a fiscal sponsor. So we're the fiscal sponsor for, it's now called Empower Children for Success.
Empower Children for Success.
Yeah.
I like that. That's a good name.
Yeah. And so
we want to do that.
She's able, with the fiscal sponsorship, Meritus, who is the president, I guess, of that corporation, she is able to apply for grants using our nonprofit status, because without that, she wouldn't be able to do that. So I didn't realize that when you're starting a new nonprofit, it's vital to have a fiscal sponsor so you can get funding, and they can help you get your own nonprofit status. So we're excited to be a part of that, but also when she's on her feet, we'll be able to do that for somebody else. So we're hoping that that'll encourage more people to start more nonprofits to help the city.
Yep, just more collaboration and more helping people become do-gooders.
Exactly. The more we feel, the more collaboration, the more people work together, the more we'll be able to accomplish. Rather than trying to do everything on our own, you can't.
Yeah, when everybody working in little silos, we're less effective.
Yeah,
and we're weaker.
And our church really wants to be part of helping Fitchburg, and so whatever we can do. So,
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. So, what are some upcoming? We have the Churches Unite events that that we can the community is welcome to attend.
Yeah, so our next Churches Unite event is going to be just a simple prayer meeting, but they're very powerful. We come, we worship together.
Are these all on Sundays?
Yeah, this one in particularly is going to be on a Sunday evening. So the next one is September 11th at our church, Highland Baptist Church, at 6 o'clock. So anybody is welcome to come be a part of that.
Nice.
So.
And what are some other, and then you have food pantry events on the second and fourth Saturdays
of every
except
month.
in November and December when it's on the 1st and the 3rd.
1st and 3rd November and December, yeah. So that always happens. And then, you know, we're going to be, we're involved in the Main Street Halloween event. So that
the Trick or Treat on Main Street?
Trick or Treat on Main Street, so look for us there. We had a really fun time at the last one. So hopefully this time we get less rain. But, you know, that'll be a fun time. So we'll be there.
And Trick or Treat on Main Street will be the Saturday before Halloween, so the 29th of October from like 12 to 2.
Something like that.
Something like
we'll be there.
Yeah.
You know, we'll be there. We'll make sure there's fun
everyone will be there with
the
cute costumes.
Yeah. So that's on the agenda right now, but as things come up, you know, we'll post it on our Facebook page, our website. We'll keep people informed as more things come up. We have some other things in the works, but I don't know if they're going to happen yet. So, you know.
So follow the website, follow the
website,
Facebook page.
Probably follow the Facebook page a little bit more.
Yeah, the Highland Baptist Church on in Fitchburg.
Yeah, we have our own Facebook page for the food pantry as well. So
there's a separate food pantry.
There's a separate food pantry.
What's the name of that?
That one's just Highland Baptist Church Food Pantry.
Highland Baptist Church Food Pantry.
Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah. So if people ever wondering about the schedule or whatever, go to that Facebook page.
Follow it, like it.
Or our website, HBC Fitchburg. You can find anything you need there too.
HBCFitchburg.com. All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Is there anything else that we missed?
You know, I think that's it now at the moment.
Think all information has been given?
Yeah, I think all the information has been given, but you know, I would just encourage people, if you need help with anything, if you want to be involved in volunteering for the food pantry, or if you want to donate to the diaper or formula distribution that we're doing.
There's a need.
There's definitely a need here in Fitchburg, for sure. So, you know, come be a part of that. Anyone's welcome to help.
Well, thank you, Pastor Johnny Aleman from the Highland Baptist Church. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you for having me.
Okay, great. And thank you for watching. We're going to take a break, and then we're coming back to talk with Michael Graterati from the Naturals Collective New Artist Studio. Okay? I'll be back.
Excellent opening move. We played this.
Opening lines for the Bishop and the Queen.
10-year-old Alice Lee. Let's see a photo of Alice Lee.
She plays H3.
Okay.
And we were thinking that mainly it's to make Luft, they call it.
Luft.
German for air.
At the age 8, he was also able to play blindfold, but most of his exhibitions were where he had sight of the board. Right. And he usually played between 15 and 20 players. Yes, I think taking with the Queen. How did Carissa respond to Bishop C4?
She plays Knight F6, attacking Jennifer's pawn.
I remember when.
Fitchburg was the smallest town in the area, but by 1835, it had grown to be the largest town. By 1840 and 50, most Fitchburg residents had become abolitionists. Another early industry in Fitchburg that still continues today is scythe making. Women used to have to spin yarn and weave cloth themselves, but now it was being made in factories, cutting down and exporting its wood to build cities up and down the East Coast, and of course, for making paper. Starting in the 1800s, the population becomes much more diverse. Fitchburg Machine Works expanded widely.
After World War II, Main Street was lively.
Hi, welcome back. Discussing Fitchburg Now. I'm Sam Squalia, and this here with me is Michael Gradarati. You're a photographer, and you are also the gallery owner of the Naturals Collective new gallery in Leominster.
Yeah, I opened that up. I've been doing photography now for about 13 years, so maybe closer to 14. And I've always been working with artists. I do like weddings too, and traditional like studio work and just photo shoots for families. But I've always loved art. In the last 8 years, I've been working with other shops and galleries and like all out of town, you know? So I've gotten a lot of experience with building up businesses, helping like store employees kind of navigate through social media and like really create a really good following and like a loyal following of customers, not just like bots, you know? And now, so I wanted to bring something back to my hometown because I grew up here. I'm 32, and in all these years, I haven't really seen too much. Like, there's definitely been people that do art and have like had spaces, but not many spaces that I can go in or people can go in and really appreciate art and be educated about the art.
So this is kind of your impetus, but behind starting your new gallery, right? And what's I know it's right on North Main Street.
Yeah, 853 North Main Street, right there on the line, on Battle Street. So you have the blue Battle Street sign and the red Battle Street sign.
On the rail trail.
Yeah, the rail trail, brand new rail trail. Yeah, Twin City.
So you're right. So Michael's studio is right over the line if you're going into the rail trail, and you take a right on Battles at the line, the Fitchburg-Leominster line, and it's right across the street from the MART station near Taste of Vietnam.
Yes.
The Dunkin' Donuts there, and you're in that Trolley Lane.
Trolley Lane Plaza.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, so now that I'm here, I'm definitely going to try to reach out to the local community. I'm bringing artists from other parts of the country and other parts of the world here to Leominster, so people can kind of discover new mediums or see things they might have only seen, you know, online or on Instagram. And I'm also trying to work with more local artists here in town or in the surrounding towns, just so we can have a good, like, healthy balance of, you know, bigger names and people that are big names around here, people that are even up and coming, and also different mediums like glass, canvas paintings, like vinyl toy art and things like vinyl figures, a lot of one-of-a-kind stuff. So it's just stuff you have to come in and check out too. But I mean, we had the opening, I believe, 3 weeks ago now. Or almost 3 weeks ago now, maybe tomorrow. It's been going good, and we've been getting some foot traffic. I'm just working on putting together events and possibly like shows. I'm trying to hopefully eventually get to like maybe once a month or bi-monthly have like a cool event, have an artist out, whether it's you know, whether it's
that's really the benefit of having a studio, is to have studio events.
Yeah, you can call your own shots, and I can kind of decide who I want to bring in. And lately, I wanted to, actually, it's cool that I'm on here now with you, because I was getting together even earlier. I was on the phone with artists. I'm locking in some artists for a show coming up in October, and that's going to be, I believe, October 15th. We're working with a local Massachusetts group called Pink Revolution, and they're like a breast cancer awareness support center and support group that is ran out of the UMass hospitals. And the funny thing is, I had the idea for the show, and I was trying to reach out to find like a reputable local charity that I could donate money to, and it turns out they were founded in Leominster at the UMass, that's like 2 miles away from the gallery, I believe. So it was like a full circle. And so we're gonna be working with them, and again, it's Pink Revolution, and I have aiming for about 30 artists. It's gonna be like a glass medium, and we're gonna be doing glass pendants in pink.
Cool.
So all the artists can do their own style or their own designs, but maybe they'll flip it and do a color they've never done, which would be pink, because some of them might have like their own colorways and everything. And any money from any of those pendants that are purchased is going to go to Pink Revolution. And since it's more local, we know where the money's going. I do believe also that they donate wigs and other supplies to people that are going through like treatments, or you know, that need like
something we can all support.
Yeah, and it's something we can all relate to.
Everybody knows someone.
Yeah, and so I want to be able to do things like that. Maybe not just like October events, but like monthly events, and have a lot of them be like something given back to the community, or something where we can get the stewards involved from Fitchburg, since it's right on the line. I feel like it's a good thing for both. Like, it's not Leominster or Fitchburg; it's the Twin City Gallery, and that's what I hope it kind of brings.
So to back up, you are from Leominster. You grew up in Leominster, and then you moved away, and now you're back?
No. So I was born in Peru, and I came to Leominster as a really young baby, and I've grown up here. I love it here. I did go to school out of town.
Oh, okay.
And then I've been working a lot.
Where'd you go to school?
I went to school at Lexington High. I went to a few other schools that are just more private schools, and then I actually graduated with Leominster High, though, because I was in Lexington High. I was doing like some work programs. I was working at Minuteman High, Minuteman Tech out in Lexington. And then so, all my friends are here. Like, I've played on Pop Warner when I was a kid and everything. So it's really like my roots are here. And I got the option to graduate with my class here. And I chose that because it was more, it felt more right to be right next to my friends and be up on stage in Leominster. And I think that's one reason why I'm doing this. I want to bring things back here. I don't want to open them up places where there is a lot of art already, or. So
how are you tying yourself into the artist community?
Here, reaching out to a lot of people. I know a lot of artists in general, but I'm kind of using Instagram. I'm also right now getting the name for the gallery out, so maybe more artists will find their way in, and we can talk about maybe solo shows or exhibits, or giving people space on the wall for maybe like a 30-day period. And then, with that, we can help get more of the local artist community foot traffic, where people can come into the gallery and look at people's art that they might have heard about or seen. We actually just took in something from Baum's Freehand. I don't know if if you're familiar with him.
He just did a mural in Fitchburg on South Street.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Is that on South or Summer?
Summer Street.
Yeah, Summer.
You're
right.
right.
At the
Summer
parking lot.
Street. Yeah, right near Main Street, right near Moran Square. Baum's Freehand.
Yeah, and he's been doing stuff
in
all
Gardner,
over.
that beautiful mural under the bridge in Gardner.
Yeah, of the chair worker, I think, because it's Chair City. And so he does a lot of cool stuff like that. So I was trying to link up with him just because maybe in the future there could be possible mural things going on the rail trail with,
Love it.
And so I have a lot of ideas. We were just in the Sentinel on Saturday, this past Saturday, and I was really thankful about that. It gave a lot of good light.
Oh, yeah, we got a good picture of Michael with the ribbon cutting scissors and the mayor in the background. Yeah, can you put this one on the big screen? That's
nice.
A good one.
Yeah, and that's my mother right there, and Dean. And there's a lot of, I have my photography on display, so it's really, there's no specific, yeah, give me the Van Gogh. There's no specific medium that I'm trying to aim for. I just really want to bring that art culture here to the Twin Cities and see how it can expand, and I feel like maybe in the future there could be other possibilities to put galleries, other places that need art or that are kind of hungry for art, because I know there's a clear demand around this area for art. I mean, Fitchburg has definitely been getting really into it, and they had the mural project, which was awesome. All the ribbon cuttings are really cool. I met a lot of awesome artists that were from everywhere that were coming together here in Fitchburg.
And we are the Twin Cities. Where Fitchburg goes, Leominster goes. Where Leominster goes, Fitchburg goes. We are very similar.
Have to. There's rivalries, but also there's a lot of teamwork.
That's right,
so
as it should be. Friendly rivalry. I have friendly rivalries with my daughter. But we're a team.
Exactly.
As Fitchburg and Leominster are.
Exactly, and I've spent an equal amount of time in Fitchburg that I have in Leominster, so I don't really have I'm just open to the entire area, and I think it's stronger if we look at it like that altogether.
We're stronger together.
Yeah, we're stronger together. We're Central Mass, and my whole life I've kind of looked at Leominster and Fitchburg being a huge representative of Central Mass until you get to Worcester or Lowell, So we definitely represent for a lot of towns, and I feel like what we bring here will spread out more west, you know, because like a lot of the influences here, towns out west don't have as much of, and then towns closer to the east may be a little bit more used to the art culture and everything. And that's just what I've learned being a fan of art for a while, is having to go to Boston or Connecticut or New York City to see like really different art, you know?
And for gateway cities like Fitchburg and Leominster, you know, the art is artists, you know, I was saying with the Main Street Studios, the Fitchburg Cultural Alliance, artists are the ones that create the events and create the places that people want to be. And when people are coming and to places they want to be, then they want to live there. They might want to move there. They want to go. They want to raise their children there. They want to shop there. They want to go to a restaurant. You know, these are the places that people want to be. Well, yeah. are cultivated by artists.
That's interesting you say that, because like I've had definitely in the past with other galleries I've worked with. I worked with an artist that we brought out from California, and he was from Humboldt County. He came, did a meet and greet and a show. He stayed at my place. I brought him around Boston, brought him all around like some of my friends' houses, showed him around Leominster and Fitchburg. He liked it so much that he moved out to Boston. He lives here, has a family here now, and he's a really good dude.
Boom! That's all it takes sometimes, is these little sparks.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why I'm trying to bring things like this gallery here to Leominster. I grew up here. I want to bring more to the community, and if people are coming from out of town or out of state to see the gallery, they're coming to Leominster and they're going to explore Fitchburg and Leominster and maybe possibly go to the other art like locations that are popping up now left and right.
Go to our events, go to our restaurants.
And you guys just had the ribbon cutting for Main Street Studios and the Main Street Studio crew here, and that was awesome to meet everybody there and hear about all the stewards.
It's nice to meet you there too.
Yeah. I met you there too, and I mean, I think it's great. Just it's a good way for people to kind of get out of their comfort zone, maybe discover a talent that they didn't even know they had with the studios opening up and everything, and giving people more opportunity to kind of be around artists if they personally aren't. You know, some people don't have that art like reach.
When you put yourself out there and you say yes to things that you might not normally say yes to, you activate new talents within yourself.
Of course, yeah. And if you're around other creators that maybe like you weren't around before, it can bring things out that you might have said in your mind, oh, I don't know if I can do that. Nobody's gonna like it. You know, it's never a way to look at it. You just do it.
You get the spark.
Yeah, you'll let the public and collectors and people that like art kind of like I've seen a lot of people be surprised, like being kind of more like not wanting to show their art out in public because they're not sure, but then once they
when
get
you meet other people that are doing the same thing, you feel more comfortable.
Yeah. When people
in our last minute here, I just want to remind people of where they can go to visit your gallery and where they can go to learn more information.
Okay, well, we have a website. It's naturalscollective.com. That's naturals with an S, so natural with an S. And then the Instagram is naturals_collective. And the email, if you wanted to ask any questions or inquire about anything, is naturals.gallery@gmail.com. So.
And that's 853 North Main Street in Leominster, right across the Fitchburg line, right in that Trolley Lane Plaza.
Yeah, right before the Fitchburg line, Trolley Lane Plaza, 853
and
North Main Street. And it's the door number 203. Door number 203.
And when do you open?
Daily, pretty much every day. I'm a photographer also, so sometimes I do have to close the store to do events and weddings and things. So just follow the Instagram. You'll see the if we ever are closed on the story. But usually 12 to 7 p.m. every day.
Well, thank you, Michael, for coming on. We'll come check out your gallery, Naturals Collective.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for watching at home, Discussing Fitchburg Now. Hope you've learned a lot more about what's going on in the community.